Hello, hello. This is the Maya Artifact episode number 3791. Today's date is January 2nd, 2025. It's been almost like a morning at 9:21 a.m. All right, should we jump to the question? Well, before I kind of like ask this question, I was kind of like thinking that I decided that I should supposed to be record artifact twice in a day. Okay, yeah, early morning and after at night. Early morning is that should I supposed to be record artifact in kind of like in front of the camera because I want to shoot with the camera. Sorry about this disturbance. Okay, it is a lot. Okay, the problem with the video is that usually is this thing. I have to be care more about kind of like is it recording properly, is my audio is actually recording properly or not. Okay, yeah, because there are a lot of things. Okay, basically what is actually advantage that audio artifact actually give me is that I just hold my phone very close to my mouth. Okay, yeah, so that you would kind of like hear me very much properly. Okay, yeah, I'm not using any kind of like a hardware to kind of like do this thing and stuff like that, because I realize that the making of artifact is kind of like simply has to be as simple as easy as kind of like as easy as it can. Okay, yeah, like basically just holding the phone and that's it. Okay, yeah, because let me tell you one thing, when you try to explain things regarding about your thoughts and things like that, and you are kind of like a juggling simultaneously, if you're juggling through is my audio is audible or things and that, and this is kind of like a problem is actually happened in video artifact. Okay, yeah, and also another thing is that most of the time you are kind of like admiring yourself in the frame that are you kind of like looking good or not and things like that. So I think that video artifact is not really that good. Like the advantage like really good, like basically is this thing that you can able to kind of like simply listen or kind of like you can kind of like simply click the video artifact first, because video artifact has a kind of like a something need to see. Okay, expression and things and that, but still the convenience is audio artifact is bit more convenience. Should I continue video artifact or audio artifact? Well, I will gonna continue audio artifact. That is true. Okay, yeah, but I will not gonna deny that video artifact is also really essential too. It's not really essential, but it's something that audio artifact is a kind of like a something that you just express yourself. A video artifact is kind of like a show you your reflection and things like that. So in somehow, in kind of like a, how do I supposed to say, it's a something add value, something like that, like how do you supposed to look or things and that. Yeah, it might divert your thought process when you try to record artifact, but I think that the video artifact would be also really good. Okay, yeah, and I can able to do this thing because I have phone that able to kind of like a record 1080p 30 fps from selfie camera, so which is really good na. And audio is also really good, it's not really that bad. Okay, yeah, and as also my phone is not really that, but still it's a bit more convenient to record audio artifact, whatever. But I will gonna continue video artifact since tomorrow. Okay, yeah, and I will gonna do this thing. Okay, today I'm kind of like a very off mood and things like that, so that's why I'm, yeah, whatever. Okay, so what exactly is this question? Should we jump into the question? All right, yeah, let's jump right into the question. All right, the question is, wait, where is it? Okay, yeah. What if dream were shared experience? Okay, that's a really good question. All right, yeah. First of all, what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? This is what if question. Why am I asking this question to myself? What if question is always really interested way to give the answer. It kind of like a force you to think about that reality. It kind of like a force me to think about that reality. When I try to think about that reality, or when I try to create that reality, I'm kind of like utilizing my knowledge and information and experience that I've been through, and somehow it kind of like a felt really good. Somehow it kind of like a simply felt good. Disclaimer: the information that I'm trying to tell you is not exactly right or is not exactly wrong either. It's a raw, it's unfiltered, it's just my opinion. So do not believe in any kind of like information that I am saying, or do not seek for any kind of like information that I am saying. It's just my opinion, and opinion are subjective. Now regarding about the question says that what if dream would be a sheer experience. Now, what exactly is this? Like imagine that ki, do you play games? Okay, yeah. If you play games or not play games, let me give you the concept. Okay, yeah. Let me understand. Let me okay, let me try to give you okay. In a game, there is a multiplayer thing. Okay, yeah. Multiplayer is a kind of like a thing that you could kind of like invite people in your gameplay and you both are kind of like a play the game. BGMI is a kind of like a game. There are so many games are kind of like comes with a multiplayer that multiple people actually come and kind of like a both are kind of like a solve the puzzle or level or things or that and that. When you do this thing, when you kind of like a play game in multiple like a like multiplayer, it felt good. It felt like that's kind of like a really good. Valorant is a really good example. Have I played any kind of like a multiplayer game? Well, I like playing games. Okay, yeah, but still not that. Okay, yeah. Like I do have a kind of like a YouTube channel regarding about gaming. I thought that gaming was kind of like a thing that I should supposed to be continue, but I realized that I was really wrong and stuff like that. But still, is this thing gaming is not my thing. I love gaming. I love gaming. It's not really that I don't really love gaming, but probably is this thing that I seen that I'm not really that much enthusiastic for gaming and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, but still, is this thing na ki have I played any kind of like a multiplayer game? Well, I rarely play any kind of like a game. Okay, yeah, and multiplayer is also like never. Okay, yeah, like never means not like I played. Okay, yeah, there is a kind of like a one time I realized that it was kind of like a year ago. Um, Recently I kind of like bought the mobile phone. Okay, yeah, Moto G2. Okay, Motorola G2, and all my friends are decided to play a game called kind of, which game was that? It's a kind of like a something car driving something like a game. I'm not really sure what is that is. I just completely forget. There is something wrong game. So basically, is this thing at that time we are actually playing this game by LAN. Okay, yeah, like a basic LAN means what? Like a basically some person kind of like a create the hotspot, another people are kind of like a connect that hotspot. Okay, yeah, and we actually play this game. I just completely forgot what exactly then. That's a driving something like that. I don't know what exactly that, but that was kind of like a simply game, and we are kind of like a play this game. Did I play this game? Yeah, I played this game. Did I like that playing with multiplayer? Not really. Why? Because I don't know. It just like it felt like I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Like basically when I like what is exactly my thought process? Like basically this thing when I try to play the game, I want it to be complete control of my game. Like basically is this thing na ki like I like couple of games. RDR2 is one of my favorite game. Forza Horizon is also one of my favorite game. Is because of that ki I have complete control of what I can able to do these things. So I play this game. Okay, yeah. When I play multiplayer, then probably you have to strategize. You have to things like there are a lot of good stuff too. But still, I am. I don't know, yeah. I just like basically this thing. I haven't really played that many multiplayer games, so I didn't really knew that. Okay, yeah, and it was like I don't know. It's just my opinion. Okay, yeah, multiplayer game is really good thing. Yeah, there are so many kind of like add value when you play multiplayer game. You kind of like strategize and things and that, which is really good. But for me, I play game for kind of like a entertainment purpose, so that I would supposed to be spend time little bit better, and I kind of like admire the graphics and things and that. I don't know. I haven't really played that many multiplayer game. Whatever. Okay. My question was kind of like a very different. Okay. Yeah. So game, like in the multiplayer game, people actually come together and kind of like a play together. This is what exactly gonna happen while dreaming. Like basically is this thing that you invite someone else to kind of like a get inside of your dream. Okay, yeah. And when this thing actually happened, then what would be that particular world? Like basically, if the dream would be a shared experience, then what would be that? What would be that? Okay, yeah. If the dream would be a shared experience, then I think that nights like there are a lot of things would be kind of like I don't know, yeah. Like most of the time, I just don't really know what is actually dream that I dream. Okay, yeah, I just completely blunt out and things like that. And I was never really kind of like a focus on dreaming that much. Like I think that na dream are kind of like a meant to be happen in the REM sleep, and that is really good. It's a kind of like a simply the reflection of what you did in the kind of like a simply entire days. It's kind of like a give the reflection on the dreams and things like that, and that's it. Okay, yeah. And also I never really kind of like a put that much kind of like attention or empathy or any kind of like a simply focus on dreams and things like that. No, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. So dreams are just, yeah. Okay. But whatever, if I wanted to invite any kind of like a person to into my dreams and things like that, or if someone kind of like invite me into his dream or things like that, then would I go? Would I like what exactly is this thing? If someone like entered in my dream, then probably that particular person knows me everything, na, like my vulnerability, my scared, my happiness and things and that, because dreams are meant to be like everything. Yeah, it's kind of like a simply a person of you, right? So I don't know, is this thing that it's a kind of like invasion of privacy, but it's not the invasion of privacy. Obviously, if you invite anyone as anyone in your dreams, obviously that particular person is not a stranger person, right? That particular person is a kind of like a person that you knew and things like that. So it's a kind of like a simply a multiplayer game that you kind of like invite people who are kind of like a simply that you vibe with it, or you kind of like know with it or things like that. So yeah, probably if I kind of like a simply invite someone else into my dream, then I don't know, dude. It just felt like something really off, because there is a question actually arise. Okay, what kind of like question? Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing na ki if this reality, if this kind of like imagination become reality, like basically we could kind of like a something share, like we could kind of like a share this dream experience together. Then what is actually happened na, the real experience that we have is a kind of like a really like a fragile, like imagine is this thing na ki if you are kind of like a meeting your friend every single day in your dreams, then why would you supposed to meet in real life? So there is a kind of like a very like a like a very kind of like basically is this thing na, it's okay, let me give you the context. Okay, let me understand what exactly is this thing. Okay, so dreams are like a basically it's a kind of like your imagination. You can do anything at all and things and that. So there are multiples of things that will gonna evolve. Okay, let me give you the context. Okay, yeah. So your friend and you kind of like a come into my dreams, and we are kind of like a went into the something. Let's just say that ki we went to kind of like a something a Pandora. Okay, yeah, Pandora is a kind of like a something the planet in the Avatar. Okay, Avatar movies. So we went there. There is a kind of like a small flying mountain or things and that, which kind of like feel really good. We went there. We will kind of like enjoy things and that. We also kind of like fly this Turuk Maktu. Turuk Maktu. I don't know. We have this ponytail with how kind of like a tentacles and things. We just connect like a USB and things like that. It's so stupid, but yeah, it's kind of like a really good. Okay, yeah. So it is something that it's kind of like a feel really good. Okay, at that time. Okay, now when this thing actually happened, obviously whoever the person that I'm kind of like sharing those experience, that particular person is kind of like somebody I know him or things and that. Now the question actually arises: if I spend entire night with him and the dream, should I supposed to be kind of like a spend real time with him, or should I supposed to spend time with him? I will not like basically why would I supposed to meet him? Like basically if we are kind of like a meeting at the dream, so why would I supposed to kind of like a meet in real world, right? One thing. Another thing is that na ki there is a good consequences too. Okay, yeah, because your imagination is a kind of like a somebody very much depends on how do you imagine and things like that. Like basically is this thing na ki if you can't imagine that how the atom looks like, but your professor might be kind of like understand how the atom would looks like. So what exactly happened that ki probably you went to the school and you both like basically your professor and entire classroom are kind of like a sleep together, so that you kind of like a share the dream together. Okay, yeah. Now basically in the classroom everyone actually sleeping, student, teacher, everyone are kind of like a sleeping, and in the dream kind of like a teacher are actually kind of like a simply giving the lecture regarding about the how the atoms and looks like and things and that, because you can't imagine the atom because you haven't really seen the atom, but professor might understand what is actually atom and things like that. So basically from the everyone kind of like a went into the professor's dream, and professor kind of like a teaching regarding about how the atoms look like, how the electron looks like, what kind of like a charges, ions and things and that and that. And we are not only kind of like some way that he was teaching, the way that he was kind of like a visualizing things, like basically he was actually controlling all the environment and things and that, and we are kind of like a simply just sitting here and kind of like a saying whoa and things and that. So basically this would be really good. We would understand the concept way more in detail because of that. Usually when we learn together, when we kind of like a learning things, we kind of like a learning through visualization. Okay, yeah, like images are kind of like a simply understand more than words. Okay, yeah. So basically teacher kind of like explain very complex topic in kind of like a visualization, and people or student might gonna understand very well. Okay, yeah. So that teaching would be really good. Okay, yeah. So this would be really great. Okay, yeah. For this particular purpose, you don't have to go into the school or things like that. You just kind of like a stay at home and kind of like a sleep, and everyone kind of like a gather in the professor dreams and learn together. Right? It's a very weird concept and things like that, but still, but there is a kind of like a question actually arise that key. Then what is actually the meaning of real? What is actually is this thing? Like basically everything is actually happened in your dreams and things like that, because in the dreams you know everything, you experience everything, you feel really good things and that and that and that. Then probably real world would be kind of like a feels like that key empty. Like yeah, like basically why does empty is because of that na ki in the dream you can connect with anyone. Okay, yeah, if you wanted to connect and things like that, they just come together, let's invite and things like that. But when you do this thing in real life, then you need to put effort na, like you need to put effort to go to his place or he's come to your place or whatever it is. You kind of like made a plan, being social and things like that. Like basically this thing that na ki if you wanted to do socialism, dreams would be far more easy and convenient as compared to realism. Okay, as compared to real. So probably people might gonna kind of like a something not to spend that much time in real life with you. They are kind of like a spend just dream or thoughts and things and that, which is kind of like a very, it's not scary because like a basically like people who are kind of like inviting you in, that particular person is a kind of like a that you already knew and things and that obviously there is no random person would kind of like enter in your dream, right? So which is really good. Okay, so there is no privacy things, like if there is a privacy, but whoever the person who kind of like a control like a his dreams and he would control everything. Okay, yeah, so he will not gonna kind of like a uh, like a like basically share that privacy thing. I don't know what exactly happened. It's a kind of like a very weird thing. Like basically it's this thing that I'm kind of like a imagining a kind of like a Christopher Nolan movie, Inception. Okay, yeah, because in the Inception, things are also exactly like that way. Like people actually kind of like simply live in their dreams. Legitly, they live in the dreams. Okay, yeah. So they just kind of like do some sort of kind of like a drugs, and they went to sleep for like a basically just couple of hour, and they just kind of like simply spend the entire years of life over there and things and that. It's kind of like a things that key, because in the dreams everything kind of like a something really very easy. Like in the real life you need to put the effort for earning money and things and that. In the dreams, you if you want anything, you just want there is in front of you. Oh yeah, if you want to drive Lamborghini, oh my god, I'm driving Lamborghini at the moment. Okay, no wait, nothing, just okay. So this is what it is, yeah. But still it's not really good. Okay, yeah, because it kind of like a something question arise regarding about the realism and things like that, and that is not good thing. That is not good thing. Okay, yeah. So this is just my thought process regarding about what if the dream would be sheer concept and things like that. It's really good to understand, but all right, this is it. I have to bend here, and thank you.